What if I could tell you you can save 90% or more on the same type of on-demand instances? The only catch is AWS can take that instance anytime they want that resource back, and they will just give you 2 minutes notice before terminating or stopping that instance. So in this video, you're going to learn what Spot instances are, why AWS offers the 90% or more discounts on that Spot instances, and which workloads actually the best fit for the Spot instances, which is very critical to understand. The last thing we want to discuss is AWS certification question pattern on the Spot instances. Have you seen the hotel without any booking room earns $0, but hotel offers last minute discounts just to fill the rooms? AWS does the same thing for the Spot instances. They have a lot of idle servers running and they are offering in a deep discount price to the customer to use that compute, so that it's a win-win situation. So you get discounts, immediately use that compute power, and AWS has a lot of idle servers they were able to reuse as well. So this is a win-win. The core idea is to give you 90% or more discounts than the on-demand pricing. The same hardware, same performance for a fraction of cost, right? The trade-off is AWS can reclaim that instance whenever it needs that capacity back. Your workload may be interrupted. What you do, you launch that Spot instance, and then AWS provides lowest cost capacity, and then run application in that Spot instance. Interruption notice receives when AWS wants to reclaim that instance or terminate that instance. You get that notice 2 minutes before, and after 2 minutes AWS terminates or stop that instance. You can change that behavior whether you want to stop or terminate that instance. The real world use case, like genomic research, you need thousands of CPUs to run the job. So in this case, you purchase Spot instance, which is a fraction of the cost, and you execute that genomic research job, and then you save lots of dollars. The same way, the animation studio uses Spot instances to render their videos, because rendering videos takes a lot of compute. So when they get cheaper price Spot instances, they render those videos and they can easily resume where it was stopped due to AWS reclaim that instance. So they can resume that rendering job from where it was stopped. The ML startup for training machine learning model is expensive, so companies or business use Spot instance to train that model with lowest cost, and they can resume easily where training was stopped. So these are the mainly 3 use cases you see, but there are many use cases for the Spot instances. Mainly research workers use a Spot instance because they can resume their research work where it was stopped. So 2 traps hidden in one topic when AWS certification exam testing you. The common mistake is students see lowest cost in the question, they immediately pick the reserved instance because they know the reserved instance is lowest cost than the on-demand instance. So that's why they pick it. But the right answer, if workload is interruptible and they want the lowest cost, the answer is Spot instance, always. Okay, remember these 3 key points before you picking the right pricing model. The lowest cost, interruption is okay, go for Spot instance. The predictable workloads, long-term workloads, then reserved instance or savings plan. And then you have a critical production system, on demand and savings plan. These are applicable. Remember these key points before you pick the right instance type. And never use Spot instances for databases or transaction processing. It doesn't work because resuming will be very hard where it was terminated. So compare these 4 pricing model, right? Always remember this because it will help you to pick the right instance type. On demand, you don't have any commitment. Unpredictable critical workloads, you can put on demand. Reserved instances, you have a specific instance type and you committed for 1 or 3 years. And you know that you have a stable, unchanging workloads. Then savings plan, you just commit to the certain spending levels for 1 or 3 years, and you have a stable spending and evolving architecture. You are going for the savings plan. The fourth one is spot instance. You don't have any commitment, but AWS can reclaim that instance anytime when they need that resource back. When you actually can use, when you have a flexible workloads and interruptible workloads and you want a cheapest price possible for the job, then you go for spot instances. Remember these 5 points before you end this video, okay? Number 1, spare capacity. Spot instances uses AWS's unused compute capacity, and that's what makes the discount possible. It's a win-win situation, and you get up to 90% off. Discount can reach 90% compared to the on-demand instances for same kind of EC2 instance type and sizes. And interruption risk. Your work can be interrupted anytime with 2 minutes notice. Fault tolerant only. The spot instances is best for workloads that are flexible and can handle being interrupted mid-run. And the fifth point is exam signal words. When you see lowest cost plus tolerates interruptions, that's when you go for spot instance. After you end this video, you must do these 3 things. For the exam, you rewire your lowest cost instinct, okay? Lowest cost doesn't mean you go and pick the reserved instance. No. When you see lowest cost plus interruption tolerant, then you go for spot instance. Then build the 2 minutes handler before you deploy. When you deploy, you check instance metadata for the interruption notice, and based on that you save the work or do something so that you can resume from there when you start again. The third thing you do, audit your workloads for spot eligibility. Go through everything you are running or planning to run, explicitly rule out spot instances for any transaction or database related work, but everything else you can run on spot instance, but you have a plan to save and resume the work when you receive the notice for 2 minutes for termination. All right. Let me show you in the console how you can go ahead and create a spot instance for your project. You go to the EC2 console here, and then you left side panel, you will see the spot request, right? There is a spot request. If you go here and then you create spot fleet request. Fleet means more than one instances in the instance set or fleet. Okay. When you say create, and then you put all of the details, AMI, key pair and all the details, and then hit launch. So immediately you will have a set of spot instances for your project. All right. Thank you so much for watching this lesson. If you have any question, don't hesitate to reach out to me and put a comment below, right? When actually you use spot instances for your project, and how did you handle that when AWS terminated that EC2 instance? I will see you in the comment below.